recording?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, so salam sejahtera and good morning to Auntie and my teammate. I'm Ketua Kumpulan from Group Asteya. My name is Ang Zhen Hao. Next, Brian Ong Wen Qian, who is the Penong Ketua Kumpulan. Tan Wai Chun, who is the Teoh Usaha, and Teoh Fung, who is executive in our group. We are from UOW Malaysia KDU University College. First and foremost, I would like to thank Auntie for willing to spend your time with us this morning. Before we start, I will pass to Brian for some explanation in our title.
All right, thanks, Zhen Hao. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Brian, and I'm the assistant group leader for the group Asteya. So the title of our group is on suicide. So specifically, the title is actually how religion and suicide among youths are actually related. So the purpose of this interview is basically to see what Malaysians think on this topic. So without further ado, let's begin the interview.
So first, may I know what is your full name?
Shujata Shalini.
Okay.
All right, so the next question is, are you a Malaysian?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so the third question will be, how old are you, ma'am?
I'm 48.
Okay, thanks.
Miss, can I know that what is your race?
I'm an Indian.
Okay.
Okay. May I know what is your religion?
Hinduism.
Okay, thank you.
May I know what is your occupation?
I'm a lawyer.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, ma'am. So, in your opinion, what is the role of Hinduism in your daily life?
Hinduism in my daily life, I think it keeps the society together, as in how we relate to one another with other religion as well. They teach us how to live in harmony. So, and because we all come from different walks of life, right? So Hinduism it teaches us the way of life. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Miss. Another question is, what are some of the main teachings of your religion?
The main teachings of our religion is to always forgive, to love one another, to live in peace and joy.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, Miss. In your opinion, what are the causes of suicide issue among youth?
I'm sorry.
What are the causes of suicide issue among youth?
I think the causes now is because I think youth these days, they want quick, instant gratification. So they have no patience in waiting on God, I would say, because when they want something, they want instantaneously. So they do not have the patience to wait on God, and the lack of faith in God. So I think
Okay.
the teachings of their own religion, I think there's a lack in foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they don't go back to God when they have a problem. So they
Okay.
feel they play God and they take things in their own hand.
Okay, thank you.
So that's a very good point. I agree with you on that. So following up with another question on that. So what do you think are the potential effects of suicide among youths?
I I think among youth, I think it spreads like a wind, because they think that's the best answer. You see, because the influence on the social media platforms, I think they feel that's the best way out. So they get influenced by the actions of other teenagers that take this sort of measures. You see, so that is very scary, because they feel that's the best shortcut and that's the best way out. Where instead, they should always go back to their parents, or they should always go back to a role model or a mentor.
True.
Okay, ma'am. So, one last question for you. Can you talk more about how does Hinduism play a role in reducing the number of suicide cases among the youth?
I think Hinduism can bring about awareness. I think the leaders in Hinduism should have more discourses about this awareness, that they should instill. I think parents actually it should start from home, that the parents should instill that at the end of the day, that God is everything, God is the center, that we should always go back to God, that when we have a problem, that we should always go back to God, that will always bring us out of a storm. I think that should be actually nailed into their head. So that I think that is the most important thing. I think not
Okay.
only in Hinduism, I think in any religion, I think that's what should be nailed into a child's head.
Yes, agree.
Okay.
Hello, Miss. Before
Yes.
we end, can you help us to fill out this form? I will send this link at the chat there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. No
Okay.
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Lastly, we would like to thank you again for your cooperation by spending your time with us to participate in this interview session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Hello, Andy 午安。
你好，
我们是Group Asteya，我叫安真浩，然后我是这个 group 的组长，然后副组长 Brian Ong 文谦，然后Teoh Saha 单 Y Chun，然后AJK Teoh Fung，我们是 UOW Malaysia KDU 的学生。首先呢，我是想要谢谢安迪啊，就是愿意抽出时间来帮我们做出这个interview。在我们开始之前，我先 pass 给 Brian，让他跟你解释一下我们的题目是什么。
好，
Hello, Auntie. 讲华语 so I will talk in English.
我不会听我，
哦
因为我
can
叫我儿子 explain 给我哈。
可以 Okay, sorry. So good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Brian, and I'm the assistant group leader. So our group's title is about suicide. So specifically on how religion and suicide among youths in Malaysia are related. So the purpose of today's interview is to understand what Malaysians think about this topic.
还有分自杀
介绍
美國自殺的物件。
哦，自杀，
对
那大问题了，自杀，自杀是少年、青年、小孩、老年全部人一生的问题。
首先想问一下安迪你的全名是什么啊？
卢梭柱 ，LOOSAWCHOO。
OK，谢谢你。
And Auntie, you are Malaysian, right?
是马来西亚人。
Okay, thank you.
安迪，请问你今年几岁
55。
？OK，谢谢。
年轻吗？
年轻。
安迪，请问你的种族是什么？
华人，佛教。
So 你的宗教是佛教，对不对？OK。
My turn. Auntie, what is your occupation, your job?
你讲。
暂时退休在家，暂时 MCO，暂停工作在家。
OK。
会听吗？会听吗？
会。
一点点。
安迪，所以你觉得佛教在你的日常生活中有起到什么作用吗？
佛教
对，
很好的作用。为什么？
就有帮到你什么吗？是什么的？
会啊，会帮到我啊，好像我有什么烦恼、什么事情、什么想不开呀，我会拿那个佛教的那个教导我们的来化解这些问题啊。
OK。
下一个问题是，其实跟你刚才上一题的答案差不多一样，是你宗教主要会教会你什么？
宗教会教会我们慈悲呀，教我们慈悲最重要的，人要有慈悲心啊。还有好像现在的世界什么霸凌啊什么，你有那个慈悲的心，你看什么东西都是平等的，所以你不会高人一等也不会去什么看人不起呀这个宗教是不错的每个人的宗教都很好的，教导我们都是 很好的那个力量，然后正能量，会听吗？会听吗？
会。
下一个问题是安迪，你觉得是什么原因造成青少年会想去自杀？
什么东西会造成青少年？青少年是说18岁以上的是吧？
对，18岁到60岁之间。
很多咯，赌博、爱情。那么最终青少年是大多都是为群所困的，这很重要啊。所以佛教很好咯，佛教有教我们这些问题咯。所以我们的宗教不是说佛教，我们的宗教很好的。我的宗教啦，我的宗教佛教，它有教我们首先要爱自己，爱父母。所以你首先要想到这一点，我们本身就最后的考虑就不会想到要去自杀，明白吗？因为首先我们要想到父母那么你就有后顾之忧，明白吗？我讲的话你明白吗？
明白。
Okay, so Auntie, next question is, what are the effects of suicide among youths?
自杀有什么影响？
自杀影响
对那个年轻人什么影响？
对社会影响，还是对家人影响，还是对那个自杀的人影响
？In general，
就是普遍普通来讲。
什么？
就是普通来讲说，年轻人自杀的问题会影响什么？
年轻人自杀的问题是对自己不负责任咯，自了之，对不对？对家庭不负责任咯，对社会影响坏影响咯，对不对？所以不好，这个不好。
OK，so 我们这边还有一个最后一个问题想要问你，就是你认为佛教如何阻止年轻人去自杀的问题？
佛教会阻止年轻人自杀问题，只要年轻人去学习面对自杀的问题，佛教不会教你的。
OK，
就是你年轻人要去面对，要勇敢去面对。我跟你讲一个人遇到问题别人怎么样讲他混不进去，他自己要那个自己要去觉悟，你明白吗？就好像说我们首先不要什么都自己想，我的问题想一下父母有问题，父母的问题先，你有父母的问题，你就觉得自己的问题不是问题了。明白吗？我不知道你听得懂吗？我不知道
明白，我们明白。OK，
自杀是年轻人、小孩不要讲了，小孩还没有那个，他的还没有年轻人、少年、老年是一种不负责任的，对自己家庭不负责任，对自己不负责任，对社会不负责任的，是吧？自杀是一个愚蠢的东西，这个不好。这个社会风气不好，对欠年轻人的什么东西要面对不要逃避，逃避是最不好的。因为自杀为什么要自杀？逃避嘛，一死了之，什么都不知道，就是逃避来的。还有你吗？
现在这里有一个表格，就是希望你帮我们填一下咯，就是对于我们的表现。
我的回答可以吗？
可以。
再见，拜拜。
感谢你抽出宝贵的时间参加这次的采访，谢谢。
Samsudara and good afternoon to Uncle and my teammate. I'm Ketua Kumpulan from Group Asteya. My name is Zhen. Next, Brian Ong Wen Qian with the Penong Ketua Kumpulan. Tan Wai Chun with Setia Usaha, and Teoh Fung with AJK in our group. We are from UOW Malaysia KDU University College. First and foremost, I would like to thank Uncle for willing to spend your time with us now. Right. Before we start, I will pass to Brian for some explanation in our title.
Also, a very good evening to every one of you, and thank you for this.
Right, so very good evening to you, sir. My name is Brian, and I am the assistant group leader for the group Asteya. So basically, the title of our group is on suicide, and it's specifically on how religion and suicide among youths in Malaysia are related. So the purpose of this interview is basically to understand what Malaysians think about this topic. So without further ado, let's begin the interview.
So okay.
Okay.
The first question, Uncle. May I know what is your full name?
My name is Ong Hock Hua, Riho's father.
Okay.
The second question is, are you a Malaysian?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hi sir. Can we know how are you now?
Yes, more or less.
I mean, how are you now?
Sure, I'm fine.
No,
I mean,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm a bit nervous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean your age. How are you now?
How old?
Yes.
64 plus.
Okay.
Sir, may I know what is your race?
Chinese, of course.
Okay. May I know what is your religion?
Buddhism.
Okay. So the last demographic question would be, may I know what is your occupation?
I'm already retired, and before that, I was a logistic officer
All right.
In the SME industry.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so for your opinion, what is the role of Buddhism in your daily life?
Okay, I would say basically, Buddhism plays a very important role in our daily life in Malaysia. So first and foremost, I would say that what they practice, they teaches us is that the first thing is we have to practice ourselves, and then also to propagate peace, love, beauty to everyone of the Malaysian, irrespective of any race. And that is our main purpose of practicing Buddhism.
Okay, so next question is that what are some of the main teachings of your religion?
Okay, the main teaching, of course, we have to adhere to in Buddhism, I would say that at first we have to adhere to the 5 precepts. I don't know whether you know what is 5 precepts. 5 precepts is to abstain from killing, abstain from cheating, abstain from lying, and then do not take intoxicant, and don't do adultery. That is our main teaching, which shows us against bad deeds in order to prevent creating karma. Karma, you know what's karma? Karma is considered as a sin. Yeah, this is our basic.
Okay, thank you.
I don't go further into that because I would say that this is mainly on our personal side. It's not on the what I call it how to say on the social level. It's on a personal level or personal practice.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, sir, the next question is, in your opinion, what are the causes of suicide issue among youth?
Can you please repeat?
Okay, sorry. In your opinion, what are the causes of suicide issue among youth?
Causes of suicide.
Suicide.
The causes of suicide is mainly due to the pressure of in many aspects. I would say pressure in the education, and pressure from the parent, pressure from the society, and all. I mean, besides all this, I would say the victim or the victim of the youth, or the victim is how to say that. He has no way of going on further or for carrying on his life because he think that life is hopeless because he got so much pressure and he got so much anxiety causing him to be so desperate without help anyone. So he sort of based on all this cause him to go to the brink of committing suicide.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you very much for that. So a follow-up question to that. What do you think are the effects of suicide?
What do I think?
Yeah.
The aspects of committing suicide, isn't it?
Yeah, what are the effects of someone who suicides? Let's say their friends, their family, to society in general. Yeah.
I see. Okay, the first, basically, I would say that the first effect is it will cause the youth of having wrong aspect to commit suicide, because what they think is they would think wrongly that committing suicide you can sort of run away or run away from this problem. They want to say that they want to evade the problem, and then sort of in order to commit suicide, they can sort of solve the solution. But this is a wrong concept. They think that let's see, by committing suicide, they already sort of finish everything. This is totally a wrong concept to them. Number one, that is for the youth or to the society. Number two, the effect is, the person who commits suicide will create a problem to his parents, because the parents had raised him for so many years, and then they think that how come my son or my daughter is committing suicide? For what reason? Do you understand also? And then this causes a great grievance to the how to say, the so-called is the parents of families.
Okay.
I feel that is can't be much. I think it's the two factors or two effects.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we have one last question for you. In your opinion, how does Buddhism play a role in reducing the number of suicide cases among the youth?
How
does Buddhism play a role in reducing the number of suicide cases among the youth?
I see. Okay. So in my opinion, I feel that Buddhism actually plays a very, very important role to prevent youth from committing suicide. Because the first teaching is we do not kill. Because in Buddhism, killing is a kind of a crime, or the person who has committed suicide is committing a sin. Because you know why? Because you are taking away our own life, which is really, really very wrong to a person. This is number one. And I would say, so in the what I call it religious point of view, if you go further into that, killing means taking away of life, or considered as a murder. That means you murder yourself or you murder animals or any beings. Killing is definitely is not correct. In Buddhism, one of the law is said, in every action there's an occupation. In every action there is an opposite and equation. It means to say that this is a law of karma. It means to say whatever you do, the deeds will come back to you. And number two is how to say you committed suicide. This wrongful act will lead him or fall down into hell. You know why? The person at the time of committing suicide, you know how he is feeling, how to say, no love at all, and then there are many negative aspects, and this negative energy will cause him sort of like there's a law, you got what do you call it, the secret. Whatever you think, you will come back, or you will sort of feeling the same thing exactly, or probably you will get more suffering. Just like example, when you sort of borrow some money from a bank, and a bank will sort of charge you interest. And then to see when you sort of cause or create a water suffering or killing to any beings, including ourselves, that means we have to repay, including the benefits of the killing of the suffering. And when we kill animals or we kill ourselves, our blood, the feeling of the dead beings will cause toxin into the family, and this season will sort of aggravate our suffering further. And this is on a religious, how to say, on a Buddhism explanation. Because I would say this, many things do not know this thing, but I have to tell you the truth. This is the truth is that the more you kill, the more you suffer. including others and including ourselves. That means to say we cannot kill. We cannot kill anything, neither killing our own life or taking away our own life. We cannot do that.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Sir, before we end the interview, can you help us to fill out the form? I will send the link at the chat box there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. We would like to thank you again for your cooperation by spending your time with us to participate in this interview section. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Okay, thank
much.
Thank you.
The last bite.
Oh, sure. Take your time.
Samsata and good evening to Auntie and my teammate. I'm Ketua Kumpulan from Group Asteya. My name is Zhen. Next, Brian Ong Wen Qian with Penong Ketua Kumpulan, Tan Wai Chun with Teoh Usaha, and Teoh Fung with AZK in our group. We are the students from UOW Malaysia KDU University College. First and foremost, I would like to thank Auntie for willing to spend your time with us now. Before we start, I will pass to Brian for some explanation in our title.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. So my name is Brian, and I'm the assistant group leader for Asteya. So basically, the title of our group is on suicide, and
On
specifically,
committed suicide.
yes,
Okay.
and specifically on how religion and suicide among youths in Malaysia are related.
Mm-hmm.
So the purpose of this interview is actually to understand what Malaysians think about this topic.
The first question is, may I know what is your full name?
Okay. Georgia Eagle. EAGER.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so second question is, are you a Malaysian?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, ma'am. How old are you now?
I'm 63.
All right. Thanks.
Miss, can I know what is your race?
Race
Yeah.
Chinese.
Okay, thank you.
The next question is, may I know what is your religion?
Christian.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the last demographic question would be, what is your occupation?
Okay. Consider as a tutor, private tutor.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Miss. So may I know, in your opinion, what is the role of your religion in your daily life?
Okay. It's really play an important role. Just like when you face any problem, of course, for my case, I will reflect myself. And if any problem, I won't think of the committed suicide. I've led a very, very difficult life before, but I don't think of any committed suicide. I may seek for advice or opinion or anybody who can help. Of course, I won't simply go to any person to seek for help, So I
Okay.
think those young people, the teenage, I think they have to open up to talk to any person whom he or she can trust. You say sometimes even though the counselor at the school, why the student, they won't go to their counselor? First thing, they don't trust. I think the trust has to build up before you can seek the advice or what. I think the trust is very important for the counselor and the counseling. I mean, the student who have the problem, if they wanted to, they can seek the advices from their peers, whether they are senior or younger, it doesn't matter. Or even though they can say, okay, I have people. Sometimes they are not necessary to want to get the problem solved. It's just to release themselves, their problem. That's it. Then they find it more comfortable.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Miss. Another question is, you think
What the religion taught you about?
Okay. My religion taught me to be honesty. Okay. Firstly, if you're dealing with a committed suicide, Christian definitely are not allowed to commit suicide. Okay, and in the Chinese philosophy, do you all speak Mandarin, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you all do, the Chinese Confucius say, love every single skin, okay? Inclusive your hair. You can't harm them. This means that you can't so-called committed suicide. Okay, in the deeper understanding. Otherwise, in the superficial from the word, that means you can't pull your hair. It means you can't hurt any single part of your body. That means you can't commit suicide if in Christianity or in the Muslim, you also cannot commit suicide. That's what I know now.
Okay, so Miss, in your opinion, what are the causes of suicide issue among youth?
Among youth,
Yeah.
well, there are many, like the youth as what we say, student, of course, schoolwork, okay, the high expectation from the parents, or sometimes the expectation from the school teacher, especially in the primary school. Secondary and in the college, usually lecture, they don't put this kind of emphasis on you. I think maybe peers, because all the while they have a very good result or whatever, show a very good image, suddenly the image is damaged, then they can't overcome that. Or maybe some, they face financial difficulties that they can't overcome. If the parents, they have the financial difficulty, they can't help the kids. Then if you are the 18 or 17, if you are in the college, we have to think. We can't fully rely on the parents, okay? Because if you are more than 18, you are college, you should have this kind of mindset, right?
Okay,
Of course, if the parent can fully support, that will be bravo.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving
May
on
I
to
ask one question? Have
Yeah.
four of you have any any experiences of thinking of committed suicide?
Probably
No,
No.
No.
definitely
Or
no.
any difficult problem that you find very difficult to overcome? No.
Problems, yes, but definitely not to the point of committing
Yeah,
suicide.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, good. When you have a problem, you have to think in your life, which problem is it? The current problem is the biggest. Then you think of the biggest, then you find that your current problem is no problem.
Right, that's a
Okay.
very good point. I agree on that. So, moving on to my next question, it will be what are the potential effects of suicide among youths?
The effect after you have committed suicide, that means gone case.
Yes.
What is the effect? Then who are the people immediately has the effect on that? Of course, the person who raised them. Why I say raise them, or parents, some parents, they don't raise them. I think immediate kinship, like the parents or brother and sister, is really have a strong impact on them. They may feel whatever, like they didn't care much about them or whatever. So I think that is most, because from the news, the parent will say, "Oh, I shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that." They feel that they are remorse, they are regret. Okay, but we can't put all the responsibility to the parents. Okay, how about the society? What do you think about the society, the peers? Because when we are grown up, how much time that you stay in a family? Not much, right? If you are working adults, most of your precious time you spend with your colleague. So that means the society. And how about the person who committed suicide, do they have to pay responsibilities? Yes, right?
Yes.
So the effect will be the person who committed suicide, but he or she have no feeling at all. But it's those who are alive will be affected. How about the friend? Yes, if he or she is one of our friend, you feel, why? You know, if the news from the newspaper, the one who committed suicide has nothing, no relationship with you, do you say this? No, right? So that is the effect.
Okay, that's a very good point. Thank you very much.
Okay, Miss. Here we have one last question for you. So, in your opinion, how does your religion play a role in reducing the number of suicide cases among the youth?
I think if the youth, if they have the religion or we say faith in their life, the cases of, especially when you mention about Christian, the cases will be reduced. Or any other religion, or I can say not only the Christian. If you are the Buddhism or Taoism, or even though when we say it's a kind of belief like Shiji, okay, it's also a kind of belief, okay? So if anybody who has the faith, okay, I think the cases of committed suicide will be reduced. Even though in Malay, I'll say even though in what we say Muslim, okay, if they have the faith in their life, then all this will be reduced.
Okay, thanks.
Miss, so before we end this interview, I would like you to fill out a form for us. I will send the link at the chat box there.
Okay.
Okay, so Miss, we would like to thank you again for your cooperation by spending your time with us to participate in this interview. Thank you very much.